Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. It's been a while since I've done a video because I've been involved in all sorts of issues. Um, Basically, what happened is that a number of friends and family sort of suggested that since I'm retired and don't have much time, I have plenty of time to do whatever I want, that maybe I should rent a space at one of these antique malls and start selling records. So I pondered that for a while, and then two things came up last week, and I ended up buying about 800 record albums. Paid about 35 cents, 40 cents each, and went down to this mall near me and rented a space and spent the last week or so cleaning up the records and putting them in new sleeves and taking Lysol wipes and wiping the outside dirt off the covers and putting them in plastic sleeves and cleaning them up. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. So I really haven't had time to make any videos. I have collected a bunch of stuff for myself through that group of 800 albums plus some other stuff I got. So I wanted to sort of catch up and do a video of a whole bunch of stuff I got recently. These are all rock. I separated all the jazz. I'm going to do a separate video for all my jazz albums I picked up. It's just been a little overwhelming. Before we get going to that, I just wanted to thank Brian from Shamrock and Records, who gave me a great shout out last week. And because of that shout out, I pushed up and I'm over 100 subscribers, which I never thought would happen. So I want to give a big shout out to Brian, who really made that happen for me. I really appreciate it, Brian. He's a great guy, just the nicest guy, and just has great taste in music. So if you don't know his website, his channel, check it out. It's called Shamrock and Records, and you'll learn a lot. He's really into blue-eyed soul and current rock and roll, and he's a great guy. So I'm really appreciate the shout out. That was really great of him. So let's get on the records that I've picked up in the past couple of weeks, and let's see what we got here. First thing is an album I didn't have this one, but by this particular artist. It's a classic, Jimi Hendrix. This is Kiss the Sky. Like I would like to say, I'm old enough and lucky enough I got to see Jimmy perform twice, so that was brings back great old thoughts. This I think is pretty much is the Mike, what's the guy's name? Douglas? Not Mike Douglas. Can't find it on here, but there was a guy that after Alan Douglas, after Hendrix passed away, Alan Douglas got a hold of all of Hendrix's tapes and actually got newer people in to record tracks with them. It's sort of not the best, but it's great to have in the collection. Next one, I saw this. I heard of this person, but didn't have any records by him. So as soon as I saw it, I was happy to grab it. Jim Carroll Band. This is from 1980, and I think it's the first pressing. Very cool, in great condition. Jim Carroll Band. Next one is an album. I have everything else by this, not everything else, but a lot by this band, but I didn't have this first album of theirs. So happy to see this in good condition and be able to grab this. This is the first Led Zeppelin album. Nothing else to say about that. Only thing I can say about Led Zeppelin is that I saw them right after this came out, and they were the opening act for Jose Feliciano, who was the headliner. And I was with a whole bunch of friends in college, and we were in a different state of mind, shall we say. And we all watched Zeppelin, all ran to the front of the stage. And after Zeppelin finished, I think the entire theater emptied out, and I think Jose must have played to an empty crowd. Empty hall, I mean, it was good times, good times. Anyway, Led Zeppelin. Picked this one also up, another classic from the 60s. Don't know if you know them, but The Fugs. It crawled into my hand, honest. And this is a nice gatefold. And Ed Sanders, Tuli Kupferberg, The Fugs. Really early proto-punk poetry, left-wing, psychedelic. I guess when they first started off, none of them knew how to play instruments, and it sort of tells they not really great musicians, but they had something to say, and it's very interesting stuff, sort of very fun. Great record. This one also, really happy to add this to my collection, is The Mothers, Frank Zappa, absolutely free. Nice gatefold copy. Didn't have this one in my collection, so really glad to be able to add this to it. Next one is this one I picked up at the Goodwill. It's a 3-record set, but at Goodwill they only had 2 records in it. So I was so happy to be able to find one that had all 3 records. It's a Neil Young Decade, which is a great 3-record set. I mean, most of the stuff I'm going to show is stuff everybody knows, nothing super extraordinary. I'm just really happy to have this stuff in my collection at a good price. Next one, I've had this one before it was destroyed. I kept looking for a decent copy, and really happy to have that, is Quicksilver Messenger Service, their first album. I think this is from 68 or 67. Yeah. Quicksilver. One of the original of the San Francisco psychedelic sound. Another Neil Young I was able to pick up. Picked this up at there's a baseball card store which still exists near me, and they have a room in the back with records, and always been very expensive. I went back there a number of times and it was always $10, $15, $25 records, and I was like, I'm not buying that. So last week I stopped by as I was driving by, I said, let me just see if they've changed their attitude. And I went in and they had a bunch of records and nothing was priced. So I asked the guy, he goes, well, most of that stuff give me $2 each. So I was happy to be able to pick up another Neil Young album for $2. This is Tonight's the Night. Gatefold also in really good condition. Cover is not great, but the record itself is really good. So another great addition. Also one of the seminal bands from the 60s and the Everly Brothers, late 50s, early 60s. Everybody wanted to sound like the Everly Brothers. The Beatles particularly were, especially Paul McCartney, was enamored of the Everly Brothers and the way they sang their harmonies. Also the Byrds, of course, and all those other bands always emulated the Everly Brothers. So this is a great 2-record set. Has everything on it: Walk Right Back, Sweet Dreams, Kathy's Clown, Wake Up Little Susie, Crying in the Rain, Bird Dog. Yeah, great stuff. Next one is a guy, 2 records. I found 2 records by him. I didn't have any by him, though I really like him. Just didn't really happen for me with him. So really glad to be able to pick up Roy Buchanan, the very quiet, shy guitar slinger from the DC area. Great guitar player. Again, this is late 60s, and he was very shy. 72. He was a very shy, quiet guy. Didn't really like to be out there. Didn't live the rock and roll lifestyle. So never really made it in the big scene, but amazing player. He has another record, another Roy Buchanan. This is You're Not Alone. Yeah. This is from 78, a little later in his career, on Atlantic. And I got 2 by this other band, which I love. I just actually rediscovered them after many years. I used to listen to them way back in the day. Then I picked one up a while ago, and I listened to it again. I said, wow, they're really great. And they are. Savoy Brown. So this is Savoy Brown, nice double, nice gatefold. Great album. Really happy to have that. And also another Savoy Brown album, Hellbound Train. Also gatefold, great inside. If you don't know Savoy Brown, English rock and blues band from the 60s. Definitely check him out if you like that hardcore rock blues. Next one is a man who's seen many faces, has done many things. Originally with the New York Dolls, then for a while he was Buster Poindexter, but he's always been David Johansen. This is David Johansen, Live It Up. This happens to be a promo copy, which is really nice. Not white label, but still a nice promo copy. Haven't had a chance to listen to any of these. I've been so busy cleaning everything else up for sale that I haven't had a chance to clean these and listen to them yet, but looking forward to this one in particular. Next 2 are by another British pub rocker, late 70s, early 80s. another unsung hero from England. I think he's a great songwriter, Graham Parker. This is Live Alone in America. I actually saw him live and alone here in Portland, Maine about 7 years ago at a small club. Started off a little hesitant. His first two songs, he sort of wasn't really sure of the audience or what was going on. By the third or fourth song, he was ripping the place up. By the end of the show, everybody was up and dancing. It was a great, great show he put on it. He's a great performer. So, Graham Parker. And on the same thing, another Graham Parker album. This is Heat Treatment. Graham Parker and the Rumor. This is not alone. This is with the Rumor. And 1976. Great stuff. Love me some Graham. So there you go. Graham Parker. Next one. Another unsung hero of, this is from Texas. Another great singer-songwriter. Delbert McClinton. Don't see too much Delbert lying around, but I'm glad to be able to pick this up. There you go. This has on it Shotgun Rider, which is great. The Jealous Kind, Shaky Ground. So, great stuff. Delbert McClinton. Swinging back to England, part of the ska scene, which I always love that stuff. This is Madness, absolutely. And this is a English pressing, which I picked up, which is very cool. I'm sorry, made in Portugal. On the bottom it says England, but there's a stamp there, a little label. It says made in Portugal. So it's a Portuguese copy, which is pretty cool. And now we'll do a little, another guy. I have a couple of his records. I'm really love. He's just passed away, I think, last year, is Leon Russell. This is, I think, his first album. Has Delta Lady on it, Prince of Peace, Roll Away the Stone, Shootout on the Plantation, Dixie Lullaby. I mean, it's great, great, great album. So, I don't know if you all know Leon Russell, but he was with, played in Joe Cocker's band, Mad Dogs Englishmen. It was basically, Leon Russell ran the band. He, piano player, and he sort of conducted everything. Got a couple Leon Russell albums besides that one. I got Carney. Also a great Leon Russell album. A little water damage, but I'll live with that. And one more Leon Russell album. It's Leon Russell and the Shelter People, which has the Ballad of Mad Dogs and Englishmen on it. Also has Dylan's It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. Stranger in a Strange Land is on here. Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. Just a great album. Leon Russell. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorite bands from the 60s, Canned Heat. This is Boogie with Canned Heat. Again, this is a record I had a really crummy copy, and I was really happy to upgrade to a really clean, nice copy on this one. So, this is has Amphetamine Annie, Fried Hockey Boogie, Evil Woman on the Road Again, Whiskey Headed Woman #2. So, a great album by Canned Heat on the original Liberty label. So that's the stuff I picked up recently. Like I said, I've been so busy trying to get my little booth set up at this antique mall that I haven't had a chance to clean or listen to records in about a week. So I'm going to do another couple of videos. I'm going to do another one soon on all the jazz albums I picked up recently. So once again, I want to give Brian from Shamrock and Records a shout out for mentioning me and helping me push over that 100 subs mark. And if you're one of my subscribers, one of the new ones, thanks so much for listening. I've been watching a lot of videos recently. I always have the dilemma. I don't know if people have the same dilemma. Should I listen to music? Should I watch videos about listening to music? Should I listen to music? Should I watch a video? It's always back and forth. What am I going to do? I guess it depends the time of day. Usually at night, if my wife's upstairs sleeping, she goes to bed a little earlier than I do, I'll just watch the videos. If it's during the day and I'm home, I'll crank the stereo up and listen to music. So try to find time for a little bit of everything. And then you got to find time for digging also. All right, until next time, thanks for watching, and peace.